Hello and welcome to episode 53 of the Made by Mumino podcast. My name is Catherine and this is mostly a knitting podcast, although I do occasionally talk about spinning and weaving. Although I haven't done any spinning for ages and I have an urge to do some. Anyway, so yes, welcome. A huge welcome to you if you're new here and a very warm welcome back if you've been here before. This is where I talk about any projects I'm working on, test knits, that kind of thing. Irresponsible purchases, there are a few of those today, I'm afraid. And yeah, you can find me on social media, Instagram, Ravelry as Mumino or Made by Mumino. But all the links for that are down below. And you can also email me, although I'm so bad at responding to emails. What I do is I see them, I read them, I think, oh, I'll reply to that, and then I forget. So I apologise if you've emailed me and I haven't replied. I also fit in chapters, so if there's any bits that you're not interested in, you can just skip through those. Although for some reason on the last couple of episodes, I don't think the chapters have been working. So I'll see if I can sort that out for this episode. But yes, I am filming from Mönchengladbach in Germany. I'm originally from Wales in the UK, and I've been away for a few weeks. I've been in the UK. And yeah, I was supposed to record an episode last week, but I was just so busy, I just didn't have time to do it. So there's lots to talk about this week because, yeah, I've got a few finished objects to show you, which is nice. So yeah, I'm drinking a nice cup of tea. It's a black tea with milk, and I go through phases. I go back to the UK for a few weeks and I start drinking black tea with milk again. And then I do it for a few weeks here before going back to the fruit tea again. But at the moment, yeah, I'm going through a black tea with milk phase. And it's very, very nice. So grab yourself a drink and let's get stuck in. So last week it was my podiversary. I know technically this is a vlog and not a podcast, but I think the word podcast is used sort of generically now for any audio or video format like this. But yeah, last week it was my podiversary. So 2 years of producing podcasts, and I've been really enjoying it. It's been so lovely meeting so many lovely people through the comments and things on here, and it's been really fun sort of sharing what I'm up to. But yeah, there'll be a little giveaway this episode, so keep watching and I'll tell you how to enter it a little bit later on. So let's start with what I'm wearing today. You can't really see it so well, so I'll put a picture of me wearing it up here. This is my second ranunculus that I made, and I think I'll probably make another one at some point. But I really wanted to wear something bright and cheerful today. I was going to wear my first finished object, but it's such a grey and gloomy day outside that I thought I'd wear something with a bit of a pop of colour. So yeah, this is a ranunculus. I cast on the larger neckline, which is, as you can see, isn't very large really. And I also went down a needle size because the yarn that I'm using is a DK. It's a WIP Yarn Company Ard DK, which is 100% Polwarth. So I used a 5.5mm needle, which is a US 9. And I made these sort of cropped 3/4 length sleeves, and it's just got these gorgeous little pops of neon and things through it. So yeah, it's just a really, really happy pullover. I think I would make another one. I believe that there have been some updates to the pattern in the last couple of years, so there are a wider range of sizes, but I used the original pattern because I wanted the lace work to be sort of up here and it to be nicely fitting around the shoulders. And when I got to the raglan section, I just kept increasing until it fit me. And then I just continued down following the pattern kind of roughly. So I actually had yarn from 2 different colour lots in here. So I used the one that was a bit more greenish on all of the ribbing, and then I stuck with the sort of predominantly pink one for the body of the pullover. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. It looks really cute, I think, underneath this little pinafore. So it's a happy and bright bit of sunshine on a pretty gloomy day, to be honest. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing today. Okay, as promised, I have 3 finished objects to show you today, and I'm so happy with this. This is my Riihi Sweater. This is from Ronja Hakalito, and this has been some dream knitting for me for a while. I bought the book Lakeside Stitches a few years ago, and I bought it because this pattern was on the cover and I really, really, really wanted to make it. So yeah, it's done. I am very, very happy with it. I'm very, very happy with it. So I knit the 5th size, which gave me a circumference of about 126 centimetres. So not much positive ease for my bust size. Yeah, my bust size is about 120 centimetres, 48 inches. So it gave me a few centimetres of positive ease, which is what I was looking for. And other than that, I stuck to the pattern, apart from with the colour arrangement here. So this section here, the C1 was supposed to be the background colour, and then the green was supposed to be the colour for the little sort of diamond motif here. But I wanted, as you can see here, there's not a lot of contrast between the green and the brown, and I wanted to use more of the brown. I wanted to have it sort of more visible, because it really is a beautiful yarn. So I just switched up the colour order a little bit, so it looks slightly different to the pattern. So the yarns that I used, this is another WIP Yarn Company one. This is the Dorka worsted base, which is a DK. The cream is Peer Gynt, and the green is a Danish yarn, the name escapes me, but I'll link it down below, which has got a lot of Gotland in it, so it's got this beautiful halo. I don't know if you can see that. And it's just gorgeous. And I was going to wear this today, but I really wanted to wear something a bit more bright and cheerful. It's a big, thick, heavy jumper, and it's going to be perfect for when the weather is really, really cold. My partner and I are going to Iceland next week for a week, and I'm planning on wearing this a lot. I'm hoping it'll be cold enough. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. I used the recommended 4mm needle, which is a US 6, and I stuck to the 5th size, as I said. I think there are 8 or 9 sizes altogether, but to be honest, after you take out the recommended ease, it's not as size inclusive as perhaps it originally appears, but it's a gorgeous pattern, so yeah. So yeah, for my size, I knit the recommended sleeve length, I knit the recommended body length, and yeah, it was just a really, really fun knit. I really enjoyed it. You can see my jog at the back. I might go in and pull them around a little bit and do a little bit of duplicate stitching just to tidy it up, maybe just there, because there's a little gap just there. But I'm not really that bothered, to be honest. I'll show you my floats. Let's turn it inside out. It's another reason not to wear it, because then I can actually show it to you properly. Sorry, I got all twisted up and you didn't need to see that. Okay, there are my floats. And as you can see, I didn't pick up all of them. These ones here, I left them quite long, but as I wear it, because it's very woolly wool, it'll all felt together nicely. I don't really worry too much about my floats unless they're super long, so like 10, 12 stitches or something, or I'm knitting it for somebody else. The other thing that I did was, again, I had yarn from 2 different dye lots. I originally bought 3 skeins of the dark green colour when I was in Copenhagen, and then I really wanted to make this jumper and I wanted to use that yarn to do it, so I picked up another couple, and to be honest, in the daylight I couldn't really see a difference, but just in case I did some helical knitting, so that's just where my join is, down the inside of the sleeve, just to bring in that different colour. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. It's gorgeous. If it doesn't, if it's not raining, I will do a little bit of a video of me wearing it outside, just so that you can see what it looks like on. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. It's a heavy jumper. It used, let's have a look, 4.5 skeins, I think. Yeah, 4.5 skeins of 100 grams of the green colour, pretty much a whole skein of the Peer Gynt, no, 2 skeins because they're 50 grams each, and almost a whole skein of this the orangey colour as well. So I think this is a really good use for a sort of a special skein, because these sort of artisan indie dyed yarns, they are a little bit more expensive, and I can't really afford to knit a whole jumper in them, to be honest. But using something like this to just pick out some beautiful details in a colourwork yoke is, in my opinion, a really good way of using it. So yeah, this is my Riihi sweater, and I'm really, really happy with it. I will hopefully take some photographs later on this week, or I might wait until we're in Iceland. That'd be fun. Could take some pictures in Iceland, couldn't I? But anyway, yes, first finished object. My next finished object is another sweater. So I started this a few weeks ago. That's blowing out a lot. It's not that bright in real life. It's because it's quite dark in here still this morning. This is a Felix pullover, and this is for my mother-in-law. She asked me to knit a sweater for her. As you can see, I've still got the bulb markers in from the sleeve decreases. I finished this yesterday. And yeah, she asked me to make a sweater for her, and she wanted something reasonably plain and simple, reasonably fitting, and very, very, very soft and fluffy. So this is what I made. These raglan details are so cute in this. They're really, really nice. It's not a size inclusive pattern, unfortunately. I was originally going to knit the second size for my mother-in-law, but I actually used where's my yarn? In a really cute project bag from Emma at Eldenwood Craft. I used Drops Air for this, which was a little bit too skinny for the pattern. So I went down a needle size. I knit it on 5.5mm 9 US needles instead of the recommended 6mm. So yeah, this is made of baby alpaca and merino wool, and I'm just trying to find the length. Oh yeah, for 50 grams you get 150 meters, so it was a little bit skinnier than the sort of worsted weight that the pattern calls for. So I actually ended up knitting the third size, but it got the second size measurements. My row gauge was also a little bit out, which when you're knitting a raglan is really not the end of the world at all, because you can just keep increasing or doing whatever you need to do until you get the right measurements. So I think I ended up doing 2 extra body only increases, and then knitting I think a few extra rows to get the desired yoke depth. So my mother-in-law asked her to measure one of her existing jumpers. So I hope she got the measurements correct, because I stuck to those measurements that she gave me. Yeah, so I finished this yesterday, and it's really, really cute, and I just need to weave my ends in and block it, and then it's ready to give to her. But it's very, very soft and light and fluffy. I've never knit a sweater in this before, and I'm wondering how it's going to hold up. If you've ever knit a sweater in Drops Air, I'd love to hear how it holds up over time. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. I don't think there's anything to say about it. Yeah, this is colour number 44, which is crimson red, and it's not as bright as it's showing on the video. It's yeah. The only other thing to say about that jumper is don't be afraid to do a bit of sweater maths. If you're doing a raglan, it's, in my opinion, fairly simple, fairly straightforward to sort of adjust it for your size. And you don't even, sorry, but you don't even really need to gauge swatch, because you can take your gauge swatch for them from the first part of the yoke that you're doing. So if you're not sure that you're going to get gauge, if you're messing about with a needle size, cast on for and you're doing a raglan, in my opinion, you should cast on for the size that on paper looks correct. Cast it on, knit a bit of the yoke, do a gauge swatch then from that, and then work out how deep you need to do your raglan. And you can just keep trying it on until it fits you. You can be a little bit more scientific about it, and you can do a gauge swatch and you can work it out beforehand, especially if you're not sure if the neckline's going to be right or anything. But to be honest, what's the worst that can happen? You need to rip it back a bit and start again. But yeah, I don't think you should be daunted by adjusting raglan jumpers a little bit, because I don't think it's but it's really easy to try on. I mean, it's different if you're doing something like a drop shoulder construction or saddle shoulder or something like that, then it does need to be a bit more precise, because you're going to be doing inset sleeves, because you're going to be picking up stitches and things. So it can get a little bit more foggy, but definitely with a raglan, personally, I think go for it and see what happens. The next thing I have to show you is another finished object. I finally got round to making some knee warmers, and I'm really happy with them. They're not the most a cool thing in the world to wear. They don't look particularly glamorous, but they do the job. So I have really bad knees for a number of reasons. Yeah, I really feel the cold in my knees, and I'm sure a lot of people do, because, you know, knees are not very well designed. But anyway, but I thought these would be really good if you've had knee surgery, or if you've had a knee replacement or something like that. Might be a little bit of extra warmth if you need it. And I made this pattern myself. I self-drafted it. So down the middle, I've put this really, really cute little cable design, this little vine leaf design. And on the side, I've done a little horseshoe cable there as well. And then on the back and the top and the bottom, it's twisted rib to give a nice bit of stretch. I've tried these on. I'm really happy with them. I'm worried that they're going to move around while I'm walking. So I've picked up, where is it? Just a little bit of elastic, just to weave in at the top and the bottom, just so that they don't sort of move around too much when I'm walking. But yeah, I think I'll probably write this pattern up. I've got quite chunky little thighs, so all of the knee warmer patterns or leg warmer patterns I could find, they didn't really include my knee size, because I wanted them to come right up over my knee onto my thigh. So I thought I'd just make it myself. So I worked out how wide I wanted them to be, what the circumference was, and then I sort of reverse engineered it from there. And I had so much fun with the stitch dictionary. I worked out what my different panels were, and I was trying to find a good attractive cable pattern to fit in those that wasn't too chunky, so that I could still bend my knee and everything when I was walking. And I came up with this. So yeah, I will draft these. I will write this up. And yeah, I'll put it on Ravelry soon. I might even ask if anybody wants to have a go at knitting it, so I can really sort of size it up and size it down a little bit. So if you'd be interested in maybe knitting these up, and I'd send you the pattern when it was ready, just comment down below, so I can get a feel for if anybody be interested in doing this. So I used a DK yarn. This is, where's the label? Rauwerk, which is a German yarn. They're based down near Munich. And I've had this yarn for years. I think I bought it back in 2021. And it's their obsidian base, but with a beautiful purple colour over it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And each of these knee warmers used about, I'd say 4/5 of a skein. So there was about 20 grams or so left over for this size. But if I write the pattern up, I'll make sure that I do a nice wide size range. So this circumference is a 60 centimetre fit, but I'll do a nice wide size range. So yeah, let me know down below if you'd be interested in knitting these for somebody in your life who maybe has cold knees. And yeah, that's my self-drafted knee warmers. I used a 4mm needle, which is a US 6, which is probably my favourite gauge to sort of knit on. It's very satisfying because you get the nice stitch definition, but you also have sort of a slightly faster knit than if you're knitting on 3.5s or whatever. But yeah, any DK yarn would be absolutely suitable for this. So yeah, my self-drafted cosy knee warmers that will definitely be coming to Iceland with me next week. Also, I should say that these, because they're cabled, would be perfect for the Mal that's running at the moment. If you look back at previous episodes, I think the last episode I showed you all of the prizes, or most of the prizes that are available. There will be 3 prize bundles, and all you need to do is post a picture of your finished object on the Ravelry group, which is linked down below, on Instagram, and hashtag MBMCableMal26, or you can email me the pictures. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, all finished objects are welcome before the end of April. So I think I put on the entry details that it's available. That's the closing date would be the 30th of April. But all the details are down below. So and please do message me if you have any questions about it. So yes, this would be a perfect entry. I made a little bundle of sort of beginner-friendly cable patterns that are free on Ravelry in the group as well, if you're interested. And have a look there for some inspiration. There haven't been too many entries on Instagram, but there have been loads on Ravelry, and some of the projects are absolutely amazing. I mean, people finishing off whole cable jumpers and things. It's really, really cool to see and very inspiring. I've never knit an all over cable jumper before. I'm not sure I want to wear one myself, because I don't know, I think I'd be quite nervous about knitting such a big jumper. And my partner really doesn't want to have a cable jumper. So I need to find somebody who wants a cable jumper so I can knit it for them. But I could make a cable cardigan for myself. I just don't like the idea of wearing a very, very chunky jumper. It just doesn't get that cold here. But yeah, maybe I'll make one anyway. Who cares? It'll be fun. So I'll have a think about it. So in terms of other WIPs and things, I've got a single malt sweater that I'm working on for my partner at the moment that I haven't touched in weeks. So I'm going to be working on that a little bit this week. I'll show you where I am actually. I'll show you what the progress is on it. I haven't opened this in weeks. Where am I on this? Oh, okay. Oh, that's not too bad. There's the back. I've almost finished the body, so I'm just doing the ribbing at the moment. Oh, happy days. So I might even finish that this week. So yeah, the single malt sweater is from Maxim Sear, and it's this all over textured pattern, which is super creased because it's been in the project bag for quite some time. It's got these cute little rib details on the what's it called, on the raglan, and yeah, I think I've pretty much finished. I probably only need to do a couple more rows on the body and then I'm done. So yeah, I could pick up the sleeves later on today maybe. Oh, that would be nice to finish that. Yes, I am using this Croft Aran weight from West Yorkshire Spinners, and this is the Laxfirth colourway. It's just a really good workhorse yarn. I do like West Yorkshire Spinners for jumpers that you intend to wear a lot. It's very, very reliable. I mean, they're not the most thrilling colours in the world. They tend to be a bit flat, but they also do some variegated options and things as well if you want something a bit more interesting. But they're a good, reliable yarn. So yeah, I think I'll do a little bit more work in that. This is where I find that I've made a mistake somewhere in the... No, I think I'm okay. I did the test knit for the cardigan version of this for Maxim Sear, and I realised after I'd done pretty much everything that I'd made a huge mistake when I'd picked up the sleeves, I think it was, and there was this line around where there was this obvious error going all the way around in the textured knitting. So I don't think I've done that here, so I think I'm okay. But yeah, my partner insisted that he really didn't mind, but I minded, and also it was a test knit, so it's a bit rude to not do the best work that you can. But yes, that is where I am with that. I think I'll get started on that this afternoon, so that maybe it'll be finished the next time you see it, which would be nice. So I have one other WIP to show you. I also have my handbag knitting, which I really haven't touched over the last few weeks. So I was house sitting for my parents because they were away, and they have a sort of a farm type house in the middle of nowhere in Wales, and I discovered that my crafting time was greatly reduced because every time I wanted to go to the shops, it was a half-hour drive plus opening loads of farm gates and stuff like that to go out. Normally I'm a passenger princess and I knit whilst my partner is driving. I also use a lot of public transport here in Germany. I don't have my own car because I live in the middle of a city. And I do a lot of knitting when I'm on public transport. So yeah, my handbag knitting didn't really get a look in for 3 weeks at all. I also had visitors coming to stay, and then we were out hiking and doing stuff. So yeah, knitting time was few and far between when I was in the UK. It was a lovely couple of weeks, 3 weeks altogether. But yes, not much knitting time was had. Anyway, I've made a little start on a new project. It's not a lot to show you yet, I'm afraid. This is going to be a cowl. I'll put a picture of it up here. This pattern was requested by my partner. It's called Copenhagen Calling by Isabel Kramer, and these are the colours that he chose. I love it that he loves bright colours. I get to have fun and play with all these beautiful, beautiful yarns. So yet again, this is a We Yarn Company yarn, and this is his Merknam base, which is 40% BFL, 20% Shetland, no, 40% Shetland and 20% alpaca, and it's just gorgeous. This colourway is called Nebula, and this colourway is called Lagoon. And as you can see on the, or as you could see on the picture, those colours kind of fade into each other. I'm messing about with the gauge again because this is supposed to be for a DK weight yarn, but my partner really liked these colours, so, and he really wanted to try this base. So I've gone down a couple of needle sizes. I think it's supposed to be on a 4.5mm needle. Let me just double check. Oh, I haven't started a Ravelry page for this yet. I will do that later on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was for a 4 or 4.5mm needle, and I've gone down to a 3.5mm needle. Have I? Am I lying to you? I think I might be lying. I've gone down to a 3.75mm needle, which is a US 5, and I'm happy with the gauge. It is quite open, but once it's all together and it's been blocked, I think it'll smush together really nicely. I haven't gauge swatched, I'm sorry. This was a really long cast on, and I added several groups of stitches, so I wanted to make it as long as in the pattern, and obviously because I'm messing around with the needle size, so I think I added 16 extra stitches. As long as it was a multiple of 8, it'll still work. And it was a really long cast on, nearly 300 stitches altogether. So I hope it's not twisted. I think it's okay. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to working on this, and I'm planning on taking this on a little trip together. So yeah, hopefully I should be able to get some work done, because I'm definitely going to be a passenger princess in Iceland because we've rented a car. And yeah, we shall see. We shall see what happens. But yeah, that's what I'm currently working on, although I think I might pick up that jumper again and see where we go with that. Okay, so I have lots of irresponsible purchases to show you today. My logic is I wanted to do a little yarn tour of a couple of yarn shops when I was in Wales, and also I missed out on a couple of local yarn festivals that I would have gone to. So there was the Pleidagen in the Netherlands, in Breda, a couple of weeks ago, which I would normally go to and I didn't, and there was also a yarn festival in Hamburg that I really wanted to go to. I think it was last weekend or the weekend before. Yeah, I didn't go to. That's my logic. So I bought yarn in Wales instead. So in the last episode you would have seen a little tour of the Croft in Abergavenny, or the Wool Croft, sorry, which is such a nice little yarn shop. They have a really good offering of sort of big box yarns, but also some other things as well, Malabrigo, Blue Sky Fibres, some local yarns as well. In fact, one of the prizes for the cable mal is from there, a little indie dyed yarn. But yeah, I bought some yarn while I was there. I went to one of their knitting groups, so they do, I think, 2 or 3 knitting groups a week, definitely on a Thursday and a Friday, but they also do lots of other groups and workshops and things like that. So have a look on their website, have a look on their Instagram and see what they're up to. So I bought, and before you ask, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. It just looked really pretty. I love the colour. Is that all of it? I bought this from Blue Sky Fibre at the Croft in Abergavenny. How gorgeous is that? I just really love the colours. I mean, that is beautiful. It's super silky soft. I mean, look at the drape on that. And that, with all those little heathered colours in there, is just gorgeous. No idea what I'm going to do with this. Maybe a shawl, maybe I would work really nicely in a shawl actually because it's so drapey. But anyway, this is 100% fine Highland wool, made in Peru, and it is, where is it? 50 grams is 200 meters, so it's a fingering weight yarn, but it's just really gorgeous, super soft. This colour is called Northern Lights, and this colour is called Pressed Grapes. So I have 200 grams of the purple. Sorry, I'm really sorry if you can hear my stomach. I haven't had my breakfast yet and my tummy is rumbling. Yeah, I have 200 grams of the purple and 150 grams of the heathered grey purple colour. So I think probably a shawl, but it will sit in my stash and percolate until I've thought of something that I would like to make with this. So yeah, really, really gorgeous. So that's what I bought at the Croft in Abergavenny. I also went up to Llandovery and I went to Bumblebees, which was such a cute little yarn shop. It was lovely. So you've probably seen that I've knit with Nellie and Eve yarn a few times, and it's her kind of local, Helen's local yarn shop there. I was supposed to be going to a knitting group there, but unfortunately I couldn't go because I had another appointment. But yeah, I went up there on a different trip anyway, and it was just really, really nice. Lindsay, the owner, she was lovely, and we just had such a really nice chat, and her husband Jason came in as well, and we were having a little chat about all sorts of different things. But they made me feel so welcome. It was lovely. And Llandovery itself is a really nice little town to visit. It's up in mid Wales. Really beautiful scenery, other things to do there. There's a Welsh craft centre, there's a weaving shop called Wonky Weavers. I didn't go in there because I knew that I am not strong, and I would have bought something that I couldn't fit in my case to bring back to Germany next time. But yeah, so it's just a really nice little town to visit if you're in that area. And I bought some beautiful local yarn from there. So this is natural, I think it's undyed, from a local farm up there. Now I don't speak Welsh. I'm familiar with the pronunciation, but I cannot say this word. I'm not going to attempt to say this word because every time I try and say it, I just start pronouncing it using German pronunciation. So yeah, I'll put the name up on the screen here. My dad did tell me how to say it, but it won't stick in my head. So what can I say? So anyway, I thought I'd bought 5 of these. Did I buy 4 or 5? Oh yeah, there is a 5th there. I have bought 5 skeins of this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. Now, Lindsay said that this is of DK weight, but it can be treated as an Aran as well. And it's just gorgeous. So I would really, really, really like to knit the Hiraeth shawl. I'll put a little picture of it up here. And it's a big shawl, takes a lot of yarn. Because of the Welsh connection, I really, really wanted to use Welsh yarn to make it. And I thought this was absolutely perfect. So at some point, I'm going to use this to cast on the Hiraeth shawl. It's probably going to be quite a long-term project. I imagine I'm going to pick it up and put it down several times because it's a big shawl and it's probably going to be a little bit boring after a while, let's be honest. Mostly I'm a process knitter. I love doing colour work, I love doing lace work, getting into cables and things. But this is definitely going to be a project knit. I would want to have the finished shawl. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be making with that. I'm not sure if it's got the blend on here. Yeah, it just says 100% wool from naturally coloured sheep. So it's just a beautiful rustic yarn, and it's pretty soft actually as well for a more rustic yarn. So yeah, really, really happy with that. So there'll be a tour of Bumblebees of Llandovery at the end of the episode, but also I picked this up, which is made of beautiful Welsh wool with some freehand embroidery on there, and also these buttons, which again, freehand embroidery. And Lindsay, who owns Bumblebees, she does workshops on how to do this as well. If I lived a bit closer, I'd definitely go to one of those workshops. But yeah, how cute is that? I believe she also sells these online as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'll put all the links down below. But that was just gorgeous. I really like that. Really pretty. So, little notions pouch. Oh, look at the lining as well. It's just adorable. So yeah, really cute. really nice. It was a lovely, lovely day out. I sat and had lunch by myself in the Castle Hotel there afterwards. Yeah, it was just a really, really nice day out. I really enjoyed it, and it was just lovely chatting to Lindsay, the shop owner. So, oh yeah, I've got one more thing to show you. This vintage book. So my mum was looking for a pattern book that had some traditional Ganseys in it. She really wants to make a jumper like that for my dad. And she found this pattern book. I think it's from the 90s. When was it published? Yeah, 1995. And she found there were 2 copies of it, so she got one for me as well. So yeah, speaking of all over cable patterns, there are a few in here. So this is divided up into Gansey type, well, fisherman sweaters from different parts of the world. So there's a few from Scotland, England, Ireland, Norway, Faroe, the Baltic, Breton, and also from North America as well. So there's loads of different charts and things in here as well. It's going to be a really useful resource. I don't know if you can see that well, but there's some gorgeous details on there. I'll show you my favourite one. Where is it? This one here, the Fife one. I think that's gorgeous. Really, really cute. Nice little designs on there. So cables, they don't have to be those big sort of crossing chunky ones. These aren't cables, this is textured knitting, but it still gives that effect, which is really, really nice. Where was that one that I wanted to show you? Yeah, there's just lots of really cute textured and cabled jumpers in here. Where is it? That one there. Is there a better picture? Because that's very, very dark. No, it's the Inishmore. I don't know if you can see that. Absolutely love that. I could make myself an all over cable sweater. I'm going to have to mess about with the measurements a little bit because these are not size inclusive, I don't think. So the well, this one here, it goes up to 129 centimetres, which is 51 inches. So that should be okay. I'm not going to get a lot of positives, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe. I just thought it was a really great book, and my mum was really sweet to get me one as well. I have one more thing to show you that I forgot about. So my parents were in California. One of my sisters lives there, and they went to see their grandkids. And while they were there, my parents picked up this as a thank you for house sitting. I cannot tell you how soft and gorgeous this is. So my sister lives north of San Francisco, and my parents went up to Point Reyes for the day, and there was a little independent yarn shop that, well, a shop that sold some yarn in Point Reyes. Where is it? Apologies for the rustling. It was called the Wool Shed. They popped in this little sticker as well. And this is a 100% Rambouillet, I believe. Yes, there we go, 100% Rambouillet. And the measurements are 300 yards per 4 ounce skein, and it says that it's a 3-ply twisted spool. So yeah, about 300 metres per 100 grams. I'm not sure what I'm going to make with this. It's really, really, really soft. So I think I'll probably just make a nice squishy hat with it. But it's absolutely gorgeous. Really, really beautiful squishy yarn. Yeah, so I'm a lucky girl. It was a nice thank you for house sitting. It was an absolute pleasure to have peace and quiet for a few weeks and just hang out with the dog and the cat. Oh, my parents' dog was in the last episode, and a few of you asked. Her name is Kelsey. She's a very old lady, and she's a bit old to go in kennels, really. Yeah, it was just nice for her and my parents' cat as well to have somebody actually there. So it was a good excuse for me to go and hang out up in the mountains for a few weeks. So as promised, there's a little giftaway. So I've been doing this for 2 years now, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Last week was the first time I'd ever missed an episode. So other than that, I've done an episode every 2 weeks for 2 years, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it so far. It's been brilliant. So yeah, to celebrate, I thought I would give away a €20 or equivalent gift voucher for your local yarn shop or an online shop, whatever works for you. And all you need to do is comment down below with what you are currently working on. So the keyword is WIP, W-I-P. So just include that somewhere in the comment if you want to be included in the draw. And yeah, tell me what you're working on at the moment. Give me some inspiration. Once I finish these projects, I'm not really too sure what I'm going to be working on. I've got some blankets that are looking at me saying, finish me. So I might be working on some blankets. But yeah, I'm not really too sure what to do next. So yeah, tell me what you're working on and I will do the draw the day before the next episode. So what's that? The next episode will be on, it'll be in March. Goodness gracious me, we're already in March. It'll be on the 10th of March. So if you can comment by the end of the day on the 9th so that I can do the draw before I do my filming. But yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. And thank you so much for all the comments and all the interactions and things. I really enjoy it. Again, huge apologies if I haven't replied to your email. I will have a look today and make sure I haven't missed any. So yes, I will see you in 2 weeks. Happy knitting, happy crafting, and yeah, take care. Bye now.